Good morning everyone, lovely to have you with me. Thank you for joining me. And obviously from what I've got on my desk here, it needs no explanation as to what I'm going to be doing today. One of the assignments for the 2024 Collage Weekly Challenge being hosted by Margarete Miller, and as always there's information in the description box below the video if that challenge is new to you or you want to take part. I'm going to do assignment number 12 today. These are the prompts, these are the pieces that I've lifted out to hit those prompts. So working our way through them, the first one, a tool commonly found in the garden. I've got a pair of bright orange secateurs for pruning, a piece of a postcard either side. Well, I've got this faux postcard here, so I'm going to use that. A fragrant item from your surroundings. We always have fruit in the house. I love eating it. It looks gorgeous as well, all piled high in a fruit bowl, but it also smells amazing. Citrus fruit particularly. I love the smell of freshly cut grapefruits, and I certainly love the smell of the zest that is given off from oranges and mandarins. So I've got this picture here. Paper that has a stain or is stained. Well, this is handmade paper. It's Japanese paper and it has been stained to this colour. I've got some little portions here that I can use, or I can actually use one of these bigger pieces. Something you give as a gift. Well, if you live in the UK, you've probably heard of a company called The White Company. It's one of my favourite companies and it does some really lovely home accessories and home decor pieces. And at Christmas time, I frequently get one of these large candles just to make the house a little bit more festive. This is one of their spring candles for this year. It's grapefruit and mandarin. So I would say that that would be lovely to get as a gift. Their candles are huge, big 3-wick candles, and they hold their scent for ages. They're divine, and I just think they make very simple but elegant gifts. So that is what I'm going to use for this prompt. And finally, the bonus, a musical instrument. I've got an image here of a koto, and this is the Japanese national instrument, so I'm going to use that on my piece. And I've got one or two other bits here that I've lifted out. I have some little stickers, there we go, in a craft colour. I've got this, now this is just a label that came off something that we bought from Muji, but I thought that might go with the koto and still keep the theme going. And I also have this, now this is a little vellum piece, and this is a little faux stamp here of limes, so I may well use that one if it fits in. I also have my working background, and as you can see up at the top there and at the bottom, I have a couple of cheeky little paw prints, so I'm going to try rubbing those out. If they won't rub out, then I shall mark up a border on the reverse and use that for my working background. Obviously, one of the kittens thought that their footprint ought to be part of the collage today. So that's my first job, get rid of those, and then I'll start playing with my images. This is obviously fuzzy cut, so I don't need to do anything with that. These extra portions I'm going to put to one side and concentrate on this. It's wider than my page, so what I thought I would do is cut it down there in front of this mandarin and also reduce some of the height. It's got a white border on it, so I'm going to chop away that white border. So I'm going to get on with those jobs and I'll be back when they're done. Those cheeky little paw prints wouldn't rub out, so I've just used my Tim Holtz ruler and a pencil and just created a fresh border. I don't have to worry about this side because I glue my assignments back to back when I create my journal. I've trimmed down my image quite considerably, and the mandarin that was off to one side here I've also cut out, so I'm going to be making use of that because this bit is the gift prompt. I'm thinking that I could have that just down the side next to my candle. I'm going to bring in a portion of this handmade paper straight away, so it's slightly shorter than my border, top and bottom. I've got a piece that more or less fits inside my working border. It is slightly smaller top and bottom, probably by about 3 centimetres, top and bottom, but that's fine. Trying not to go for a diagonal composition today. The reason I've chosen this postcard is that's inside of the grapefruit as pinky tones, and that works with that. So I'm just going to put that on there like that. Bring in my little mandarin, which I know I want there, and this. I'm liking the colour tones there, which I thought I would. This seems a little bit heavy on the left hand side. I'm liking the reddy mahogany tones of that with this. I'm not liking that I've got a fold down that left hand side. Even when I glue it down, it's going to be there. I could try ironing my background paper, but to be honest, I'm feeling a bit lazy, so I probably won't do that. And I'm wondering about just having that on there, so that this bottom portion of the handle just covers up that gap that I've got there. There is a little bit of a clash with the pink there, although this works. I think this helps to tone this down. Okay, I'm not averse to that actually, especially if I think about bringing these in as well. I've trimmed away the backing paper on here so that I can get a better look, because I am wondering about tucking it in under the koto. I would like to have the ticket or the label this way round so that I can make use of those lines, but I think that would make the whole thing too long, so I'm going to turn it upside down and use this portion here. And I'm just going to try and slide it under everything. This portion just looks like it's stuck there, so I'm going to turn that postcard round. For me, that works as a better layout than we had a minute ago. And having that on there works. What isn't working for me is this background. It's too full. So I'm going to go in with some scraps and see whether they work better. So I'm going to move that to one side, pull out a couple of pieces here. So I had something like that going on. Okay, I'm going to go with this composition. It's not ideal and I am struggling with it a little bit, but I am going to go with it and see if I can get some glue on these pieces. So that's all my pieces glued onto my background. I've got this portion here that I want to get on there. Make use of the shadow that's there, and hopefully it looks like it's leaning up against my candle. What I'm thinking is maybe to use this stamp or this faux stamp in there to add a little bit more interest. So I'm going to cut it out. And then bring in my secateurs and have them at an angle. Let's have a look. Something like that, I'm thinking. Trying to hide that join there really, but when I angle those up there to get the same angle as that, I can see that there. And if I bring it down, I can see that there. But I think that probably would work. So that's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to glue this onto my background because I don't think there's anything else that I want to get on here. I'm just going to maybe rip this here to give a bit more interest so I don't have a straight edge there. And I'm just going to go with that. So I'm going to glue this to my background. So here we go, everybody. This is my finished piece for assignment number 12. So let me quickly go through the prompts with you. A tool commonly found in the garden. Well, that was my Spear & Jackson Secateurs here. A piece of a postcard. Well, I've got a faux postcard here. A fragrant item from your surroundings. Well, I went with my mandarin here, although there is a grapefruit here and here. Paper that is stained or is stained. Well, I've gone for this Japanese temple paper that has been stained to this colour. I was thinking about doing some splattering on here, maybe in this sort of colour to pull it all together, but I'm just walking away from this one. I'm calling it a day. Something you give as a gift. One of these huge White Company candles. I always think they would make a lovely gift. And bonus, a musical instrument. Well, I went with the Japanese national instrument down there. And a few extra pieces. I went with a vellum stamp here, this Muji label here to try and pick up the mahogany colour on the koto, and also some Asian washi sticker here. I don't know if this is Japanese or Chinese, so I went with that to try and kind of balance those corners out and those almost blank areas really. So thank you as always, everybody, for watching. I do appreciate your company every week and your lovely comments. So if you want to leave me one, please do. Love reading them, and I always reply to them eventually. Sometimes a little later than others, but I do always reply to them. So once again, thanks so much. Photos at the end, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye now.